أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي واجعل لي وزيرا من أهلي هارون أخي اشدد به أزري واشركه في أمري كي نسبحك كثيرا ونذكرك كثيرا إنك كنت بنا بصيرا أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم اهدنا فيمن هديت وعافنا فيمن عافيت وتولنا فيمن توليت وبارك لنا فيما أعطيت وقنا واصرف عنا الشر ما قضيت فإنك تقضي ولا يقضى عليك إنه لا يذل من وليت ولا يعز من عديت تباركت ربنا وتعاليت لك الشكر على ما أتيت نستغفرك على من جميع الذنوب والخطايا ونتوب إليك. O Lord, guide us among those you guide. Grant us health and pardon among those you grant health and pardon. Look after us among those you look after. Grant us grace in what you have given us and protect us from the evil of what you have ordained. For you decree, and none is abased, whom you befriend, and none is exalted except you. Ameen. وصلى اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Ameen. Assalamu alaikum everyone. Happy Sunday. Inshallah everybody's doing great. Today we will conclude the sixth ray on page 122. We'll pick it up from the third aspect. And this ray was pretty much consisting of helping us understand the tashahhud, what we recite during the obligatory prayers. So, at-tayyatu, mubarakatu, was-salawatu, wat-tayyibatu, assalamu alayna. And so what does that mean? And we walked with the author in terms of the reasoning behind his understanding of the tashahhud and trying to apply it to our practical life. And let's see, it's as if it's a need for humanity. It's a need for the human being to be mindful of the source of their existence in their life, and how do I exclaim, proclaim, and express myself to my source of existence. And it's not just only for me, you, and everyone else from this generation, but throughout history, mankind is always in need of connecting and communicating with their source of existence, and really the details within these utterance, even mentioning of the names of various prophets, from Abraham to Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon them. What does it all signify? And well, everything is connected pretty much universally. And it's just that the more we're given time in this universe to understand the meaning of our existence, the more there is clarity that comes along. So think of it with research. People are able to get into the universe of a cell. And so we get to connect more about our existence with the rest of the universe and how everything points to an absolute source of existence. And another point mentioned last time was how um, these understanding and recognition of the source of my existence, how the truth or the message from the creator of the universe is disseminated through people coming in from the lineage of the prophets, and how significant they make the truth for us. And yeah, and that's pretty much it from what was covered thus far. But if anybody has anything to share or add, feel free to do so. Okay, inshallah, then let's look into the third aspect. The third aspect, the reason for repeatedly asking for something which shall certainly be given is this: the things sought, for instance, the station of praise and glory. The things sought, for instance, the station of praise and glory, is the tip of something. It is a branch of a vast truth that comprises lofty and significant truths, like thousands of stations of praise and glory. It is a fruit of the most important result of the universe's creation. So we're all seeking the station of praise and glory, but that is the tip of something. It leads us to something. And it is a branch of a vast truth that comprises lofty and significant truths, like thousands of stations of praise and glory. So it is a fruit of the most important result of the universe's creation. I'm not sure what it is referring to. Again, this station of praise and glory, the tashahud, understanding it is the most is a fruit of the most important result of the universe's creation. To seek through prayer the tip, branch, and fruit is to seek indirectly the realization of that vast and general truth. So to seek through prayer the tip, branch, and fruit is to seek indirectly the realization of that vast and general truth and its finding existence and the coming and realization of the eternal realm, the largest branch of the tree of creation, and the resurrection of the dead, and last judgment, and the opening up of the abode of bliss, which are supreme results of the universe. By asking for these, one participates in the worship and prayer of all humanity, the most important causes of the existence of paradise and the abode of bliss. These innumerable prayers are indeed few for an aim so unutterably vast. Moreover, Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, being awarded the station of praise and glory, points to his supreme intercession for all his community. He is concerned also with the happiness of all his community. It is therefore pure wisdom to seek endless benedictions and prayers for mercy for him, for all his community. Well, let me see. This glory be unto you. We have no knowledge save that which you've taught us. Indeed, you're all knowing, all wise. This is from Quran chapter 2, verse 32. Not quite sure I read it. this third aspect. What does it mean that to seek through prayer, that what are we seeking? Like eternal paradise, eternal bliss, some kind of comfort here, because clearly nothing of this universe satisfies me. And so through prayer, I'm seeking indirectly the realization of that vast and general truth. Let's look into this. But I see someone's hand is up. Ali Murmur, go ahead, please.
Thank you. I think the third aspect is about after Qamet or after Adhan are called, the famous, they say Adhan prayer. اللهم رب هذه الدعوة التامة والصلاة القائمة آتِ محمد الوسيلة والفضيلة والدرجة الرفيع الله أكبر وابعثه مقاما محمودا الذي وعدته. Please Allah, وابعثه, raise him, exalt him, مقاما محمود, as it is translated here as the station of praise and glory that you have promised. So in the Quran, we will give you Maqam Mahmud. Mentioned, I don't remember the verse, or Maqam Mahmud, or I don't know. Somebody may, I think Suhail is the expert of making search of this Maqam Mahmud or Mahmud is in the Quran. Can anybody search this? So the prayer is phrased, of course, taken from the verses of the Quran and also Hadith narrations, and composed in a way that the community, Muslim community, generally practice this prayer after the Azan called, or Qamet, and Qamet called. وَبَحَثْهُ مَقَامًا مَحْمُودًا, raising to the station of praise and glory that you have promised. Now, let me see what, can you share it? Please, Fariha, can you share this link?
Let me do this right now.
Please, let's not hurry and understand how the Quranic context is here is taken. ومن الليل فهجد به نافلة لك عسى أن يبعثك ربك مقاما محمودا. Yeah, exactly. Thank you very much. Surah Isra. So it is here, praise station. It is translated that it is expected that your Lord will resurrect you to a praise station. Asa is translated that expected, that it's hoped that your Rab will raise you, resurrect you. Not necessarily, resurrect you is not necessarily means resurrection. Ba'atha, also the prophets are sent to the people. The same word is used. If somebody is elected and taken out of a community and raised to a certain position means ba'ath. So not necessarily in the hereafter, including the hereafter, of course, it is not wrong, but God promises that you will, so that you will be. So that asa here is translated that it is expected, but not necessarily this. Of course, this translation is done within a certain context of understanding. That not necessarily that we have to understand in the same way. We can make it more practical in order to understand the subject. So from part of the night, pray with it to be pray alongside with the night as an additional worship for you. It means arbitrary, no, voluntary worship. Necessary. Let's discuss all together. Now, the prayer. How is it called? Come on, my language is mixed up with everything now. Oh, no, not. I am trying to explain what nafil is. Prescribed prayer, yes, voluntary. Prescribed prayer, you have to do it. But voluntary prayer is really very precious. The other one is, of course, essential. Prescribed prayers are essentials. Everybody has to do it, but extra voluntary prayer. So wake up, supererogatory, they say it. Again, Suhail, you are right, but it needs another explanation. So you don't have to do it. It is voluntary prayer. So voluntary prayer is very much appreciated in the Quran, actually. Not only in this verse of the Quran, but other verses also mention this. وَمِنَ اللَّيْلِ فَاسْجُدْ لَهُ وَسَبِّحُ لَيْلًا طَوِيلًا, for example. Again, this voluntary prayers are encouraged in the Quran. You know, if you pay your tax according to the law, it is, as a citizen, you have to do it anyways. But if you pay even more than what you have to do, that really shows up your how patriotic you are. That is why voluntary prayers are very important. So this also, some of the night, wake up, and during this night, alongside with this night, perform voluntary prayers, so that you will be raised to the station of praise and glory. Now, do we understand now the praise of the station of glory? It means you are already glorified. Because the Prophet, voluntary prayers, he was very fond of voluntary prayers. Unfortunately, I'm not really. I'm hoping, but I'm not for the moment. Now, we are expected to do that. What we do, and the whole community, Muslim community, practice after each azan and qamah, إلهي وابعثه مقاما محمودا الذي وعدته. Please God, raise him here in this world and in the hereafter to the station of glory and praise and glory. It is already promised. So that you will do it, because you will be appointed, you will be raised to this station, and he did it. It is already fulfilled. Okay. This text, what we read here, questions, since the Prophet has already been appointed to this station of glory and praise and glory. Why do we keep praying again and again and again by everyone? Now the text is explaining now. Let's say it is a branch of a vast truth that comprises lofty and significant truths, like the thousands of stations of praise and glory. It is a fruit of the most important result, the branch, fruit, of the universe's creation. It is I think these are very important sentences to me. It is a fruit of the most important result of the universe's creation. Why, in other places, the author discusses this matter in detail. Why the universe has been created? Why is it created? Because the human beings, conscious human beings, will observe the universe and try to understand the meanings transferred to conscious human beings, and conscious human beings will understand this meaning, which is nothing but the manifestations of the qualities of the Creator. Now, and within human capacity, human beings will respond back to God. So it will beautify the universe even double more. Why? If the flower is beautiful, if a human being takes the flower and understands, appreciates the beauty on it, what happens? The beauty of flower is increased. I think on one discussion, either yesterday or for another day or for another context, I don't remember, we said an exhibition hall, an artist displays his art. No one comes here. As compared to the same artist displays the same art, and those people who appreciate the value of the art come and benefit from it, enjoy the art, and praise the art, communicates with the artist, and expresses their thankfulness. Which one is more valuable? The second. That's what I understand. Second one is more valuable, more precious, more beautiful. The universe reflects the qualities of its creator, and conscious human beings respond back to this manifestations of the qualities of the creator, names of the creator, responds back, and the universe becomes even more beautiful. The purpose of the existence of the universe is this. We call it, I think it was yesterday, this is the universal worship performed by those people who really appreciate the art manifested in the universe. With tayyibat, we described this, or this was the explanation of the word at-tayyibatu lillah. All the beautiful universal appreciation of the manifestations of the qualities of God makes them even more beautiful. This scenery makes the manifestation even more beautiful. So what we do here, the purpose of the universe is to do that. When to appreciate the beauty and respond back to the Creator, saying that we appreciate your qualities and we are thankful for you for letting us understand you, getting to know you, etc. This communication, conversation between conscious human beings and God. Now, the text says it is the fruit of the most important result of the universe's creation. Let's make it the result of the creation of the universe. This is the most important result. So when we do this, what happens now? The station of praise and glory, which is obtained through the message that the prophet presented to us. So what we do now, we are praising the messengership of Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, the messengership of Muhammad by using his message, utilizing his message, and responding back, and if you like, expressing ourselves to God, saying that we are extremely happy with this person, the messenger. So because he presented or conveyed the message to us, and we are really happy with it, and please, oh God, you also will be happy with it. So his station of praise and glory becomes enforced, becomes higher and higher. What happens this? To seek through prayer the tip, branch, and fruit is to seek indirectly the realization of that vast and general truth. What is that? Vast and general truth is the station of praise and glory. This is the, we will, towards the end of the text, if we pay attention to it, to text will tell us that the vast and general truth will be, if you like, the reason, as far as we are concerned, to create hereafter and paradise in it. That is why the shafa, intercession of the prophet will be accepted. What does it mean? Because my support of the message of the prophet, receiving it, appreciating it, and asking God, please be pleased with him. He did a very good job for me, and you increase his station even higher and higher and higher, so that the permanent manifestations of the qualities of God will be manifested in permanent form with no veil, so that I can directly see that this is what God is creating right now. Of course, I don't see God, but his action is obvious that he is creating it. No cause and effect relationship as it appears to be in this world. So in the hereafter, there is no cause and effect relationship as it is here. But as it appears to be, not really, there is no cause and effect relationship, but our capacity sees it as cause and effect relationship, because we see the order here. In the order, everything seems to be sequentially happening. But in the hereafter, no. You want, whatever you want, immediately it will be created. You know that your creator, your God, your ilah is creating it. That is what hereafter is. So in order to reach this level, I have to join the prayer. Please God, I also want it. Another person says, please God, I also want it. Please God, I also want it, so that the station of the praise and glory of the prophet becomes larger, vaster, and vast, and vast, and vast, more and more vaster, whatever you call it. So this general truth becoming, it says it's finding existence and coming and realization of the eternal realm, the largest branch of the tree of creation, the resurrection of the dead and last judgment, and the opening up of the abode of bliss, paradise, which are the supreme results of the universe. This universe is created in order to in order to give a result of paradise. How it can be? Only human beings respond back to its creator. How can I respond back to its creator? Only getting the message through the prophet and applying it, expressing my happiness, expressing my appreciation of this message, therefore appreciation of the one who brought the message to me, and asking God by asking God, please, I am extremely happy with this person, the prophet. So please increase his station so high that as a result, the hereafter eternal realm of existence will be created. Within this context, that is why everyone has to repeat the same prayer, وَابْعَثْهُ مَقَامًا مَحْمُودًا الَّذِي وَعَدْتَهُ, to the, please raise him to the station of praise and glory that you have already promised, but with my support. I want to share with it as well. So the tree of the eternal creation is becoming larger and larger, vaster, increasing the value. So that is the reason for the creation of paradise. Of course, this reason is not for God. This reason is for me to understand why I should ask God to raise the messenger of God, Muhammad, so many times, so that I will have a place in paradise for me as well. So I can fit myself to it. I think internet connection is weak, because I contributed to this. If like trees there, I am putting my water as well to enhance and increase growth. Everybody is taking a share in it. I don't know. I know exactly. I couldn't really express it, messed up everything. But if you can really get out of something, we can discuss on it all together now. Why we should always make salawat on the prayer, or salawat on the prophet, and also one should say, وَبَعْثُ مَقَامًا مَحْمُودًا الَّذِي وَعَدْتَهُ. I am happy with it. Thank you very much. I am sorry I spoke a lot. Most of them are just jumbled thoughts. Sorry about it.
Jazakallah khair, Brother Ali. That was very helpful. Yeah, it makes a little bit the case clearer, at least for me. So I'll just reiterate briefly what I took away is pretty much that we are in need of the tashahhud because we need to express out our gratefulness to the employee of the creator of the universe through which we are making sense of our existence here. So when I am praying for the prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, who brought the message to humanity, in other words, I'm saying, hey, I'm pleased with this messenger, and that indirectly also implies that I'm pleased with the creator of the universe, the source of my existence. And so using the prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, as a point of reference for a universal worship, then in a way I'm also including myself with what I'm expressing for the messenger. So pretty much we are all in need of an eternal abode of bliss, and which is really the largest tree of creation, just like Nursi here is mentioning. And that's pretty much the consequence or the result of this universe. So yeah, alhamdulillah, that was my brief takeaway from this. If anybody wants to also share out what they took away, that will be very helpful, inshallah. So we can all have a universal commentary on that and help each other out. So I see 2 participants have their hand up. I don't know who went up, so go ahead, Sohail.
Assalamu alaikum. So, after Ali Imran was talking about this grant Muhammad the wasila wal fadila, the intercession or this favor. And it's interesting in that, as the text mentioned, as he was saying, is that Muhammad or his message is the sort of intercession and favor. And in other words, it is, as the text says, it is the reason for the existence of the hereafter of paradise, because his message makes sense of the universe to its highest degree possible that a man can achieve. And my recognition of that is also, showing my thanks and gratitude towards him and therefore to the creator, but also saying that I too would like to take part in that intercession and favor by following his way or his message. And in doing so, man is raised, as Muhammad is raised, to the highest, to the honored station. The Muhammadan station is the praiseworthy station. That's why it's maqam al-mahmuda. And being promised alladhi wa'adtahu is because that promise is within me, in that if I realize what the true purpose of my existence and therefore the existence of the universe is to know who I am and therefore know who my creator is through this universe, and to be pleased with him and to show thanks and gratitude and to be in his presence in every moment, to read his signs, his qualities that manifest upon this world, and to beseech him alone, then I realize that's the promise within me. In other words, because I desire, the divine presence, or which is essentially eternity, and the manifestation of his names eternally speaking through my experience of the universe, that's the promise, that's the guarantee, and that's the Muhammadan station. And that really is the intercession, is the intercession for paradise, or the favor for paradise, or for eternity, is the sort of recognition, is this sort of understanding, is this realization or consciousness. And this consciousness takes, several forms, as in the dua after the adhan, like the consciousness in sort of prayer, not just the obligatory, but as the verse says, the voluntary. In other words, the more conscious I am, theoretically, not that like I do, but the more I may express that through my prayer, my voluntary prayer, and the more I realize, or the more I ascend in this station, this praiseworthy station, because the prayer is essentially, it's an expression of my conscious realization of what reality is, what is taking place in this world. Like, who am I? What am I doing here? Where am I going? So that's, that's what I took away from what the text said and what I think Remember was saying. And the last thing I'll say, why Muhammad, is because he is sort of the supreme being in this understanding, or this journey, this conscious journey. He's the sort of representation of the universe in this journey, not just of mankind, but of the entire cosmos and all of creation. So, by following that path, I'm following his path, in sort acknowledging him as the leader of that path. So that's what I took away from this.
Jazakallah khair. That was nicely said. Thank you for sharing your comments as well. Then I see Ali Murmur. Go ahead, please.
You, the moderator, after having this general understanding, which is messed up, can we read the third aspect, that sentence by sentence? I think it will explain itself much better and we will understand better, although Suhail also explained in great detail, alhamdulillah. We will understand why making salawat on the Prophet and asking God after the azan, وَبَعْثُ مَقَامًا مَحْمُودًا الَّذِي وَعَدْتَهُ إِنَّكَ لَا تُخْلِفُ الْمِيعَادِ. This kind of prayer, why the Muslim community embraced this kind of prayers, and all over the world they are repeated. We will understand. I think the text now will explain us what it is saying. Inshallah, hoping that if you think as a moderator appropriate to do that, do. Otherwise, you are the moderator. I'm just suggesting.
Alhamdulillah, I like the suggestion, so definitely let's go for it. Third aspect, the reason for repeatedly asking for something which shall certainly be given is this. The thing sought, for instance, the station of praise and glory. The station of praise and glory is the tip of something. It is a branch of a vast truth that comprises lofty and significant truths, like thousands of stations of praise and glory. It is a fruit of the most important result of the universe's creation. It is a fruit of the most important result of the universe's creation. To seek through prayer the tip, branch, and fruit is to seek indirectly the realization of that vast and general truth. Is to seek indirectly the realization of that vast and general truth. And it's finding existence and the coming and realization of the eternal realm. The largest branch of the tree of creation and the resurrection of the dead and last judgment and the opening up of the abode of bliss, which are the supreme results of the universe. To seek through prayer the tip, branch, and fruit is to seek indirectly the realization of that vast and general truth and its finding existence and the coming and realization of the eternal realm, the largest branch of the tree of creation, and the realization of the dead, and the resurrection of the dead and last judgment. And the resurrection of the dead and last judgment and the opening up of the abode of bliss, which are the supreme results of the universe. Which are the supreme results of the universe. By asking for these, one participates in the worship and prayers of all humanity. Oh, by asking for these, one participates in the worship and prayers of all humanity. The most important causes of the existence of paradise and the abode of bliss. These innumerable prayers are indeed few for an aim so unutterably vast. These innumerable prayers are indeed few for an aim so unutterably vast. Moreover, Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, being awarded the station of praise and glory, points to his supreme intercession for all his community. Okay, that makes sense now. He is concerned also with the happiness of all his community. It is therefore pure wisdom to seek endless benedictions and prayers for mercy for him from all his community. It is therefore pure wisdom to seek endless benedictions and prayers for mercy for him, for all his community. Glory be unto you. We have no knowledge save that which you've taught us. Indeed, you're all knowing, all wise. Alhamdulillah, this was great. And Alhamdulillah made much better sense. Go ahead, Ali Murmur.
If you like to make some comment then to what you understood from the text, I followed the text as you beautifully, comfortably, slowly read it, and I think the text is clear now. I think, inshallah, it is clear for everyone. I would like, inshallah, I mean, if there is some ambiguous point, not very clearly understood, vague sentence or phrase, this is why the universe is going to give birth, if you like, an example, into a vast, endless, eternal realm of existence, which is paradise, inshallah. Now, what am I doing then? Intercession. What is intercession? Really, although we discussed this a lot, but Suhail also touched upon it. The intercession, for example, I am living in a village or in a, let's say, neighborhood. And the people in the neighborhood, under the leadership of somebody, says, let us write a petition to the town center or to the city, whatever, authority, and say that they should make roads for us here. For example, renovate the roads and streets, maybe, or plant trees here. It's a very practical, simple example. No, if one person writes this petition, he may be the community leader, but no support from his community. Look at the result. As opposed to petition is signed by 1,000 people in the neighborhood and presented to the authority. That's just a simple example. What happens? It is more likely to be taken seriously, and what is required is going to be done. This is worldly example. After the street is done, what happens? Because I contributed, I endorsed and signed the petition prepared and written or composed by the leader. I also put my signature. Another person also, 1,000 people put their signature. This is human nature, human how do you call it? Or futra in Arabic. Disposition that if there is something like this, thousands, 1,000 people wanted to do, to receive something, if you are the authority, more likely you will give it. Because so many people want it. Come on, I cannot put all of them down. One person maybe, but not all of them. So what happens now? The roads or streets are maybe done, and also the trees are planted there. Every individual member of the society equally benefits from all of it, as if all the streets are prepared for me. Another person says, oh, it is for me. Another person, it is for me. That is how paradise is like. The more the message of God is responded by people, the more people responded to the message and asked God, prayed God to accept the prayer of the Muslim community, believers community. We all sign underneath it. God says, okay, I will give you so that every one of you will benefit from it. That is how, if we follow the teachings or the petition of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, the message he distributed to us, if we follow it, we endorse it, confirm it by action, by accepting, what happens? His maqam and mahmud, the station of praise and glory, I will share it. You understand intercession now? The leader of the Muslim community is interceding me as well as you. All those people who endorse it, because we are benefiting equally from it. Now, intercession seems to be an extra, it is presented in Islamic scholarship as extra favor. No. As much as I sign, I am aware of the content of the petition, and put my signature underneath it, I will be equally benefiting from it. Isn't that a very meaningful understanding of intercession in the hereafter? The more I put my signature, I will have my share in it, because his station will be higher, and I will be benefiting from a higher reward, higher result, vaster result. So that's why we have to keep making salawat to the Prophet, expressing our happiness with his message. Anytime I make a salawat, I praise Allah, I pray Allah, God, I pray to God to increase the station of the Prophet Muhammad higher, raise the station of the Prophet Muhammad. In fact, at the end, I will benefit from it. This way of benefiting will be the intercession of the Prophet. That is why I'm very comfortable. Definitely the Prophet will intercede in the hereafter. I believe in intercession with one condition. I have to consciously be aware of the content of the petition. It means the message of the Prophet and how much on how many occasions I have endorsed it by signing it. That is intercession. That makes my mind and heart comfortable to say that definitely the Prophet will intercede as much as I put my signature under his petition. Thank you.
MashaAllah, this was beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing this. It really helps understand everything more clearly. And I was just saying, astaghfirullah, what have I been doing all these years? So now it makes more sense where, with this analogy of, supporting the message, it's really for all humanity. And so every moment is an opportunity to endorse this message and really paving the way to an eternal abode for everyone. Jazakallah khair for sharing that. Any last comments from anybody? Okay, so we can inshallah stop here for today. We are at the end of the 6th ray. Alhamdulillah, this has been an exciting journey. Thank you all for joining us in and contributing with your wonderful comments. Inshallah, may we heed the lessons shared. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.
No one will leave, please. We will discuss about what to follow. Inshallah, after live stream is ended.
Inshallah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana. Innaka antal alimul hakim. Glory be unto you. We have no knowledge save except that which you've taught us. Indeed, you are all knowledgeable, all wise. Wa akhiru da'wahum alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Bihurmati sirra suratil Fatiha. Ameen. Let me just